Old Hickory, what's his name?
Andrew
Jackson said, you know, you guys are a den of vipers, and by the strength of God, I'll rout you out. And he threw out all the central bankers, and he killed a central bank for about 75 years. He did a good job of it. Not a perfect job, but back in 1913, the central bank came back. What do we call it? Federal Reserve. So they print money out of thin air. You've heard the joke about the woman goes into the bank and says, I can't be overdrawn. I still have checks left. You know, that may be cute, but that's what the Federal Reserve is doing. Prior to 1913, how did Congress get money? They have to beg. They have to come to us and say, we were going to have this big scientific, we need $1 million to study the sex life of the mosquito. What did we say? I don't think so. It's like, oh darn. You know, we can't do our pet little project. So then they invent the Federal Reserve Bank. Congress is authorized to coin money and regulate the value thereof. They are not authorized to give that power to somebody else. If I'm a police officer, can I give you my gun and say, would you direct traffic for me while I go to lunch? Can I give you that authority? No, because I can't give you the responsibility that goes with it. We give Congress the responsibility to coin money. We did not give them the authority to give it to somebody else. But they did. Federal Reserve Act is completely, totally, 100% unconstitutional. I don't care how much, it depends on what your definition of is, the president does. It's unconstitutional. So now we've got the Federal Reserve Bank printing money out of thin air. What does Congress do? They borrow money from the Federal Reserve. Did they ask us? No. They just borrow the money. They do their, study on the sex life of the mosquito, and then they turn around to us and go, oh gosh, we've got a national debt. You got to pay taxes. We got to pay our national debt. Wait a minute. They were supposed to ask us before. Now they've invented a system where they can get the money without asking. It is criminal. It is treason. Absolutely treason. Anybody here still think that the government is out to for your best interest? I'm from the government. I'm here to help. Oh yeah? Stand still. Now, one of my favorite quotes is from Ludwig von Mises. Ludwig von Mises says on page 24, the government is the only institution that can take a valuable commodity like paper and make it absolutely worthless by printing on it. Think about it. You know, if you'd given me scrap paper, I could use it for something. But now that you turned it into money, it has no value. Now, money is defined by Black's Law Dictionary. In usual and ordinary acceptation, it means coins and paper currency used as a circulating medium of exchange and does not embrace notes or IOUs, evidence of debt or other personal or real estate. A note is an instrument containing an express and absolute promise of signer to pay a specified person or order. It's a promise to pay. Now, when we started this class, you gave me silver, I gave you a book. That is quid pro quo, Latin for something for something. We do an exchange. So once I've given you something, you've given me something. Once we've done this trade, the transaction is over with. I'm happy, you're happy, leave me alone. Now, if you say, gosh, I'd really like to have that apple, and I say, well, okay, it's $1. You say, well, I don't have $1, I've got an IOU. If I give you the apple and you give me the IOU, have we finished the transaction? No. Now, somebody's got a banana. and I want to buy the banana. And they say, well, it's $1. They say, well, instead of $1, I've got this IOU from so-and-so. Would you take my IOU? You go, yeah, okay, I'll take that. And I give the IOU and I take the banana. Have we finished the transaction? No. Somebody still owes this guy $1. Somebody is still stuck. That's what a note is. At the top of the dollar, it says Federal Reserve Note. These are official IOUs that are absolutely, totally worthless. Now, they are not the same as this. This is a silver certificate. At the top, it says silver certificate. And at the bottom, it says $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. So you could used to be able to take one of these into the bank, and they would give you silver. And I'm not talking about the bus tokens that we use. I mean, if you listen to these things drop on the floor, they sound hollow. Doesn't sound anything like silver. So basically, this is real money because it can be converted into gold or silver. This is a Federal Reserve note, and it happens to be worth whatever Alan Greenspan says it's worth. It is fiat paper. Now, what I want to do, has anybody not seen silver certificates? I'm willing to pass these around. I want them back.
Are they just a collector's item, or are they still considered? I mean,
No,
this will
no,
always be legal tender, right?
You can spend that. You could spend it like it's $1, but it's worth a whole lot more. I mean, I've got those in plastic. I won't spend it, and I'll give you dollars, but I want that one back.
I meant legally, can it be?
Yes, legally you can spend it. Now you're not going to find those in circulation because there are a couple 100,000 of us that know the difference, and we'll snatch those out of circulation faster. You know.
On a $2 bill, it doesn't say either.
What's that?
$2 bill. It doesn't say silver certificate or.
Right. I have to check the. I have a $2 note. I haven't checked that.
There were some older $2 bills.
Right.
A time ago.
Okay. Now.
It might be the one Kennedy issued.
Okay. Now. Negotiable.
I'll give you $2,000 for that.
$2,000 for what? What is that?
One of your silver certificates.
Oh.
$2,000 bill.
Yeah.
Well, you want to take that? How about this million?
Yeah. Now, negotiable means that we can negotiate about it. If I've got a pile of silver and you've got something that you're going to say, well, how much is it? And we can negotiate. Okay? You can decide whether you want to take it or not. Non-negotiable means you don't have a choice. It cannot be transferred. Not capable of passing title or property by endorsement or delivery. This was the question that you had earlier. If I take your apple and I give you this silver, I'm basically transferring property. This is now your property. The note cannot transfer property. It's just an instrument of debt. It's basically a tally system. You do not own this dollar, even if it's in your wallet. Who owns this dollar?
Federal Reserve.
The Federal Reserve. It's got a serial number on it and everything. So this is their money. If you go to Avis and you want to borrow one of their cars, you take their car, drive it around for a week, fill it up with gas, bring it back. It's still their car. They're going to charge you money for